everybody. Back to Waterbox Live.
Best day of the week. Indeed.
Yes, it is.
Waterbox Wednesday. You can't beat it.
Yeah, we're coming at you guys every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell because we're here every single week.
And this week we are talking about the Peninsula Mini 15 invert build that we have done for the last 4 or 5 weeks. No, 4 weeks. We did a giveaway with it. So we're going to recap, show some video footage of it, check out those cute little crabs and shrimp and stuff going on in there. We've got announcements. We've got all kinds of good stuff. So let's get it started. Goodbye. Woo! Right.
Welcome back, you guys. Make sure you all stick around until the end of the show because we're going to give away some swag as usual, or merch, or apparel. We've called it lots of different things.
You haven't really decided, have you?
What, if we're giving? Yeah, we just did.
Oh, all right, everything.
Yeah, we're giving stuff away. We're going to give away, screw it, everything that's here on the table. 2 shirts and a microphone.
The iPads.
I know.
Yeah. My cell phone, my cup.
Oh, someone, Salty Dad would like to know what's in the cups today. I'm always a margarita. Always.
I
don't know what you got going. Huh?
It's a margarita.
Is it? No.
Yeah.
What is it? You're not telling me.
It's water.
Are you really just drinking water?
No. We'll pretend it's a margarita.
I'm confused. What is
know.
happening?
You threw me off. You threw me for a curveball there.
Straight water?
Yeah. Uh-oh, guys. Cut the show.
Anyway,
Nothing.
all right. I don't know what's
We're just having our own conversation.
I don't know what he's doing. I have no idea whatsoever. So, moving on. Okay.
All right, where were we?
Peninsula Mini 15.
Yeah, Peninsula Mini recap.
Yes. So if you guys haven't watched, we did a 4-part series on the Peninsula Mini. It's a really cool episode, all inverts.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a video. You ready for that?
Yeah, you want to do it now? Let's do it.
Yeah, sure. Jump into it.
Ooh, so there she is. All set up on the side of our studio desk here. And this is Peninsula Mini 15. Got a little frilly arrow crab hanging out with the leather.
Yeah, it's the creep crab.
He's your best friend. You love him.
He's definitely grown on me a little bit.
All right, you're not as weirded out by him?
He's getting there.
He's getting there.
It's still pretty creepy.
He's camouflaged. He's trying to hide himself out.
It's like a stout daddy long leg.
He is. You got our pin cushion urchin. Very cool looking. He even has the one of the scarlet hermits, his shed. So there is the shell leg that is stuck to him. They'll pick up everything, little pieces of shell, shed from that, pieces of coral. So he has decorated himself with a beautiful scarlet hermit leg today.
Do you think that's intentional?
They grab everything. It's camouflage.
Yeah, they're just trying to hide themselves.
I think they know they're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much your brain or nerve
We'll pretend
has.
that they do, even if they don't, so that it makes sense.
Yeah, there you go. Some clove polyps here. These are really nice orange tip with green center.
Those are really nice.
Very, very pretty. And these will spread really nicely over the rocks. So we have a few corals in here, but not too much. We do mostly the inverts. We got the flame scallop. Pretty cool. You can see them opening and closing. He's filter feeding. And these do need a lot of filter feeding done for them to survive. So make sure you are, have learned enough about them if you want to keep something like this. Little maxi mini anemone. Sometimes we got the sexy shrimp hanging on them. Sometimes we
is
don't.
That one off there to the left hiding, or no?
I can't tell. But
I've seen them under it before.
They do. And they've been on it, under it, next to it, kind of all around. But as soon as you try and get a picture of them, they kind of run off. There's one.
Twerking.
Not with, it is a twerking shrimp, according to people, whenever we put them in. So there's one of 3 sexy shrimp that we have in there.
Yeah.
They're so cute. They just shake their booty.
They're so small, too.
Oh,
they're
there's the
really
other
cool.
2.
This shows their detail really good, too.
Yeah, so these are really cool. And they'll usually hang out on some corals or max minis or just do whatever they want, like ours do. But they're really cool to have in the tank.
One of my favorite shrimps. Look at that. It's amazing.
So you got your blood shrimp. Always, one of the brightest shrimp you can put in there.
I know. That's what I love about them. And they get pretty big. They're pretty large. They're pretty stout.
They're bright, and then you have these long antennas. Their body gets pretty good size. So, they're a nice, even in big tanks, you can appreciate these kind.
Right,
and even so more in one of these. So we have one of those in here.
If you guys have questions, post them below. When we're done watching through this video, we'll try to get to as many as we can. Cleaner shrimp, another one of my favorite. I love shrimp in tanks.
Yeah, they are really cool. And these guys actually like clean your fish and stuff with parasites that you have them, dead scales. And they'll actually clean your hand if you get used to your hand going in the tank, which is pretty cool. So we have 2 of them in here, and they are pretty out and about and just hanging out. Got a mushroom coral, and there's a hermit behind it, but I can't tell who he is.
It's one of the blue.
It is, but he's not showing himself too well.
Pulsing Xenia, another one of my favorite. I love silly corals. I love all the things that like nobody wants in their tank. I love the things that like the core hobbyists don't want.
Yeah.
You know, like things that overgrow your tank. And
There he is.
Yeah.
So that's your electric blue knuckle hermit, and we've got 2 of them in here. You see they're a little bit bigger hermit. They still will scavenge and stuff, but they just have that striking black versus the bright neon blue. They're absolutely so pretty to have in your
What's he
tank.
pushing around?
It looks like a loose mushroom. He's just trucking along, it's in his way.
He's like, get out of my way.
I mean,
mushroom.
hermits, yeah, they just do stuff.
Yeah,
Like, you know.
He's pushing that big shell around. He doesn't care what he runs into.
No, those are heavy, big shells that they have too. So, little leather coral sitting in here. Like I said, we went with the easy corals. You love leathers and all this stuff. So
Is that a Nepthia?
probably.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
That's what we're going with. Cocoa worm.
So right behind it, before you even look at the cocoa worm, see the little fans? That is the anemone, like anemone porcelain type crab, and he's actually fanning the water
Wow.
with his filter feeding. And then right there, you've got your cocoa worm coming out, but you can just see it in the background.
Keenan,
He's
did
hanging
you
down
film
there.
that on purpose?
Yeah.
The crab in the background?
The crab behind.
He wouldn't get out. Like he wouldn't move that area so that I could get him by himself.
Oh yeah, no, they don't come out a whole bunch, but it's really cool because they actually just sit there and like fan the water, like porcelain crabs and anemone crabs do that. So they're filter feeders, but also scavengers pick up. But it's really cool to just see that you put food in, you're like, very, very cool.
Yeah. What I love about that video that we just showed you is that's what you get to enjoy with this kind of setup. Like you wouldn't really, a lot of people wouldn't think to set up like an invertebrate-only system, but I mean, look how amazing that video was. And you can get up and close, you know, looking through the,
Yeah, we have
especially on the peninsula from all the different sides.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that actually didn't make it in the video because, I mean, with inverts, they kind of are just hide and seek, and sometimes they're out, sometimes not. We got pom-pom crab in there, which is really cool. We've got a yellow cucumber. We've got some scarlet hermits. Let's see, we got like a money cowrie, and I feel like maybe 1 or 2 other inverts in there. But I think that might be about it. But they don't always come out at the same time. But it's really kind of cool because there's a lot of unique little critters
Maybe
in
we
there.
get the camera on it, see if we can spot something.
See if we can find anybody. Let's do a scavenger hunt.
It is
in the
right over here.
Peninsula.
To our right.
Yes.
Go ahead and switch the camera.
I'm going to take a look at it. I wonder.
So I'd like to know from you guys, what is your favorite invert inside this aquarium? What is your favorite? Don't say the creepy daddy long leg
Wonder if I can
crab,
find
spider,
anyone.
whatever.
Trying to see if I can find like the
Decorator arrow crab. He hasn't decorated himself yet though.
No, and he's a frilly one, so I don't know if he's gonna be like all that much decorating himself. But I'm trying to see if I can find the pom-pom, but they're pretty small, so he's a little sexy shrimp. I know, they're really tough to find. Like the sexy shrimp usually are kind of like out and about, but pom-poms can be pretty hard to locate. Then we'll take a quick look.
Jess, Robert is asking how many water changes do we expect to do on this tank? Well, once every 2 weeks? Once a week?
It depends because with having all these inverts,
A lot of feeding.
a lot more feeding just so that they stay all peaceful because there's no fish waste or anything in here. So, I mean, anytime if you have a nano, if you can do a smaller one like every week, that's always a good thing. I do not see the pom-pom, but he is there. But he's not coming out to play.
You get the
But the crab's right there, which is
You
cool.
get the creepy crab, and there's also a twerking shrimp right there.
We should put in a petition
Yeah.
in the hobby to rename sexy shrimp to twerking shrimp.
Yeah, if we didn't get a copyright strike, I would play like some music for him.
So there's everybody. Like I said, this tank's still pretty new, so the corals are going to fill in really nice. Just have some easy, soft corals. Main focus, you know, is just feeding them. So spot feeding all the shrimp and crabs to make sure they don't get aggressive. And then also, you know, having stuff like the cocoa worm and the flame scallop, you have to have enough filter feeding food in there for them, which means a little bit heavier feeding than you would normally. But great thing about nanos is you can kind of be specific in what you keep in it and like feeding and stuff.
Right.
Because water changes are really easy. You know, I go and take 3 gallons out every week.
Especially in this tank.
You know, you're doing a good water washing every week. It takes no time at all. It's really cool. You know,
Literally
big
minutes.
tank is going to take a lot more maintenance. So this is fun to do something that might be a little bit more feeding intensive.
So I asked these guys what their favorite invert in here was. Salty Dad says cocoa worm. Adam says blood red shrimp. Pom pom. We got Victoria says the pom pom crab. Fire clam. Everyone's done pretty much something different. Trent says the urchin. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good variety. It's pretty cool. You know, it's fun to have, you know, different inverts and stuff like that. And not always easiest to find, but it's worth doing something dedicated like this for it. So maybe we'll see some more invert-inspired tanks out there.
Yeah.
On Facebook, our user group, the Waterbox official user group is a great place, you know, especially if you're going to set up something cool like this. Definitely get in there and share. If you're new or just want to see some stuff for inspiration, definitely check out the group. It's amazing. It's very active. The people are so helpful. So check it out.
And also remember, guys, I know you won't see a lot of this stuff in the store, but your store that you go to typically, they're ordering from a really big list of things. So ask them. Never hurts to ask. They can source.
Yeah.
They can source a lot of this stuff. If they don't have it in stock, they can usually get it for you.
Yeah, because a lot of things are not necessarily a big demand for the little invert, sexy shrimp and pom-poms and stuff like that. So if they know that people are looking for them, you're going to be more likely that they're going to find them versus just walking in and finding little tiny sexy shrimp available in a store is not always going to be
may not
your
even
biggest
notice
cost.
that they're there.
This is true. All right, I think Keenan's waving these questions.
Yeah, we got some questions and comments.
Corey S. says, I keep getting cloudy water, but water readings are fine. Do you know what could be the problem? Could be a couple, depending on the type of cloudiness. So if you get like a white cloudiness, usually means a bacterial bloom. So even if your readings are good, it means the bacteria in your aquarium is trying to bloom to keep up, or something's hindering the like growth and like stability of it. This is very common in newer tanks. Even if your water reads good, you can look kind of cloudy white. If it's like a hazy, like particles and stuff like that, you might not be filtering enough, or the water might not be directing to the filter well enough. If you got like a little hang on the back filter, it's generally not going to be enough to keep like enough flow going through. You want good filtration, something like a filter sock, and also using like good chemical media, something like ChemiPure or you know, Max Out. Any of those that are like a chemical,
Max Out,
carbon, carbon phosphate.
I
know, I haven't done that in a while. And any of those will help with some discoloration of some water. Yeah, there we go.
Ron Bailey says, any plans to offer a stand for the Mini 15 or 25? Ron, if I told you, we'd have to ban you. No.
I'm glad you didn't go the full way with that. I was like, oh God, this is going to get ugly.
I thought about it. I was like, let me divert that real quick. No, Ron. All I think I can say is watch Waterbox Live every week. And on that note, Keenan, why don't we just say this? Coming next week, we have a big announcement. We meant to drop this in the beginning.
Oh, did we?
We did. You weren't in here when we discussed that.
Oh.
So we do have a big announcement coming next week. So when I talk about watching Waterbox Live every week, these are the kinds of things and information we give you.
Yes.
So next week, we have a, I'm waiting patiently to say it, but we do have some new products coming next Wednesday, right?
What?
Yeah, so on
Do
Waterbox
we?
Live. We do.
What could it be? Woo!
There you go. So you guys, 2/17, that's next Wednesday here on Waterbox Live. We're releasing some brand new products. You can try to take a guess at what they are by looking at that. They're anvils, actually.
Anvil-shaped aquariums. Done.
We're releasing giant chunks of metal.
That is what it looks like.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't help it. I can't help it. But no, in all seriousness.
There's made a graphic or somewhat offended back here, but you know.
That was totally off the cuff, too. I didn't even think about doing that. But in all seriousness, guys, we do have a number of new products that we're releasing next week. It's going to be really exciting.
Anvils for all. I was not expecting that.
Neither was I.
All right.
So, again.
Keenan's like, moving on here.
Stephen Walsh says, didn't win one. So I bought my first Peninsula Mini 25 yesterday. Awesome. Welcome to the family, Stephen. That's amazing. That is an amazing tank.
That's a nice size. We have some beautiful ones in the group. Check them out. Love to know what you're doing with it. Anything kind of specialized types of corals. Like there's so much possibility. I love the peninsulas, the little minute. They're so cute.
They are. They're awesome. I mean, yeah.
Yep. Mike Hunt, how many clownfish should you put in a harem tank? Don't do a harem tank. I wouldn't, unless you have a really big aquarium. Clownfish.
All right, give me some knowledges, Jess. Tell everybody what the a harem tank is.
A harem tank would be like a large group of one type of fish, and then your dominant one is going to be the female. All the other ones stay around them as the males in the clownfish world. Out in the ocean, it works. There's a big old anemones. I mean, some of these anemones are like 3 foot. You've got the female and the male. They're a pair, and you've got hundreds of little small immature clowns that hang around. They stay as like immature males. If that one male dies, next one comes in. That female dies, the male turns to female, next one comes in. In theory, you know, there's enough space in the ocean for them to figure it out. In your aquarium, most of the time, there's not. Now, there's always exceptions. You may have to say, I saw someone on Facebook or in the forums that did it and it worked.
They got lucky.
That's cool. But for the most part, two
or
clowns.
they just said that it worked.
Yeah, 2 clowns in an aquarium. And the only exception to this that I really know of is skunk clowns can be done in harems. Because for some reason they just coexist okay. I don't know why it is, but you can find pink and orange skunks. I think the pink work the best. And they're not your traditional looking clowns, but you can actually do a group of them in one aquarium. But otherwise, I wouldn't really suggest it. If you want to harem something, go like Antheas that are meant to be in big groups and get along and stuff. Long-winded answer there.
Cool. Thank you, Mike. Great question.
You're reading this one.
Steve Welch, how many water changes have you done?
For the P Mini, we've only done 1 so far because it is pretty new. Because we are on week 4, cycle and all that stuff. There's been no need to do more than that. So we're
Once
just
we
in the
move
beginning
along
stage
a little bit
of.
more, yeah. Once we get a little further along where we're feeding, be much more frequent.
Yeah, you don't usually do water changes the first couple weeks anyway, just because it is still cycling and settling and stuff. So Victoria Bondi says, do coral banded shrimp, do they clean fish? I've had some people report that they do. I don't think it is a real common practice, and coral banded shrimp are also extremely aggressive. So they're definitely known to pick on other inverts and small fish, so do beware. I would not suggest them in small aquariums, maybe something bigger where the fish are too big and everything else. But they got some attitude to them.
Stephen Welch, plans on a bigger tank build. Of course, Stephen.
You never know what we got going on, because we don't tell you until it happens.
We don't, but I feel like I've mentioned the particular build that Keenan, you know what I'm thinking about. I've mentioned it, right? So I can talk about it.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can say it. As soon as we can do it, we're on it.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
so guys, we do plan on, we have the Reef LX 320.7, our largest production tank. We have a build on that coming up
Yes.
as soon as humanly possible.
Yes. So that one's going to be awesome. 7 foot. We're going to be kind of doing a very intensive setup. And
Yeah, it'll be a very long setup. So we're talking from setup to cycle to long-term maintenance and care of it as well.
It's going to be a great series, though, when we get to start it, because it's all the information is going to pertain to pretty much any size aquarium. But it's going to be very detailed. I mean, you can set up your tank week by week with us.
Yeah.
And it would be just on point as far as, and we're going to go real detailed in all aspects of it. So it's going to be a great learning series. But also just the size of this is going to be awesome.
Yeah,
Just awesome.
I can't wait for that. It's going to be great, guys. We have some really cool stuff coming this year, so you got to stay
No,
tuned.
you never know what else we're going to do in between. But that one is definitely on the books to happen.
Yep.
Salty Dad says, seriously, what is in his cup?
I'm not kidding. It's water.
That's boring.
Vodka's clear, too.
Vodka is clear, and that's what my
It
guess
really
is
is.
going
It
to
really
be.
is water. It's watermelon water. Jesus, I'm never coming to this show without a drinking.
This one's a bit long.
I don't believe it. All right.
Jessica's looking at me like, this is not happening.
I
Like,
don't think it's real. Okay. I feel gypped. You're not having happy hour. Anyway, Robert Rodriguez says, I've had a blue BTA since last June, still hasn't settled in a spot, and hasn't bubbled up since I saw it at the store. Light is good, water parameter is good, anything else to help it. Bubble tip anemones move. That's just what they do. They're probably the most mobile of the anemones. And also the bubbling can be because of flow, water parameters, or lighting. So you can get a beautifully bubble tip at your store, and you come home and it becomes a non-bubbly, whatever it wants to be,
Makes
and
no sense
vice
at all,
versa.
typically.
There's a lot of things and parameters and stuff that you can't really pinpoint that may cause that. But it has to do with some aspect of your aquarium. It's just not meant to bubble. I think a lot of times it's flow and light is your main culprits.
Yeah, I agree.
And it moving, it's going to do what it wants. You can't tell them what to do.
Yeah, that's true.
an enemy.
You can't.
But yeah, they're like the most moving of them.
I'm sorry, I just thought like a cat.
You can't tell what to do.
Sit.
What are you going to do?
Sit.
They
bubble
just,
tip.
they move a ton. They just almost never like constantly settle. So that's why they're actually quite dangerous in like real established reef tanks. And we don't have them in any of our big reefs for that reason, because I don't know if one night he's going to pick up his bags where he's been sitting, go across the tank, and in the process kill very long established corals.
Right,
or
right.
sit right onto one of our large encrusting montes or something like that. And that's exactly what they can do.
Yeah,
So.
it's either way you look at it, it's a gamble. So if you're willing to take that gamble, it's up to you. But
I like
would-
anemone-based aquariums.
Yes.
Where they're the main feature and then the rest is secondary. That's a little bit harder to do, but I don't personally put them in large, like a nicely established reef tanks.
Yeah, I agree.
2 questions.
Valentine says, how hard are urchins to be? Yeah, so how hard are urchins to be kept? Are they beginner friendly?
They need good water quality. They need to be stable. Main thing is they are algae eaters. So if you have a very new tank, you're not going to have a lot of natural algae for them to feed on. If that's the case, make sure that you are putting like little pieces of like sea veggies or or you can even buy like algae at your local fish store, like live saltwater algae that they can feed off of. But they do need a lot of algae in their diet, otherwise they're just going to starve.
Yeah.
So that, just feed them if you don't have an established aquarium.
Last one.
All right.
Read that name.
YXNG
I'm
Kuya.
gonna say Yinkua.
Yingkua. Thinking about the middle chamber of my Waterbox Refugium. Thoughts? You can. I've seen people do it in the user group. I would check out there. I don't know what lights they use. I don't know what they're doing in the middle chamber. But you definitely can because I've seen people do it. So
I don't know if he's talking about the sump or the middle chamber of like an all-in-one or a cube or a PB.
I would imagine, well, any of the answers are still the same. You can. But as far as like how you want to do it, I would, go to our user group and see what people have done with it. But I know that sumps and the back chambers of these or other all-in-ones, I've seen them that they've turned it into it.
Interesting.
Boom. All right.
So again, you guys, appreciate you being here with us. Make sure you smash that like button. It helps us out a lot. There's 91 people in here. I want to see 91 likes. If you hit the like button, give us a thumbs up. We're going to be giving away some t-shirts, some towels, and some. You're good on those?
It's good?
All right.
right.
We're going to give them away right now, you guys. So.
Oh, all right. Let's go. Yeah.
T-shirt. We've got Trent Aguya. I probably pronounced that wrong. Sorry, Trent. Towel winner Stephen Welch.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys. Email support@waterboxaquariums.com. They will verify your identity in numerous ways.
Very rigorous security check they're going to go through. Not really.
Yeah, you need your fingerprints and all that stuff.
So security number, address, banking account,
Credit card.
and then you'll get your shirt.
How many water
email
boxes
them.
do you own?
They'll get you taken care of really easily. And you get your nice shirt or a towel. Both are awesome. You can pick these up on our website as well. These towels are great for just cleaning your aquarium. Microfiber
so
is the best.
shirts, I think, are like maybe $15.
And they're super comfy.
Super awesome.
I would say it every time. I can't help it.
Yeah, these microfiber towels are great to have on hand, especially if you have an aquarium. 3-pack for $10. Free shipping. No brainer.
So the main thing that people need to take away is to tune in next week.
Yes.
Because there's something major being announced.
There is. You guys got to stick around for next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. New Waterbox products we've been working on for a long time. We've released a lot of new stuff over the last
Anvils.
300. It's funny. That's the first.
How do you see Anvil?
Once
I don't
you
know.
see it,
It's the point coming out.
once
I
you
think.
see it, you can't unsee it. I mean, I'm just.
Next week we'll take those drapes off.
Yeah, so they won't look like anvils next week. We promise.
Unless it's anvils
Yeah.
that we're releasing, then woo!
Yes, then it'll look exactly like anvils.
right.
Oh man, you guys, thank you so
This is how
much
it
for
goes.
being here. It's a bit of a short show today, but you're gonna want to tune in next week because it's gonna be a lot of fun. They're talking over here. I don't know what they're
Oh,
talking
sorry, I
about.
just wanted to show the tank again. People were
Okay.
asking
Oh,
to see the tank
yeah,
again.
check it
Yeah.
out. So definitely tune in next week for our announcements, new product, you never know. It's going to be an exciting show. And definitely head over to Facebook user group, check out some
Yeah.
cool stuff there as well.
If you're in the market for a water box, hit up waterboxaquariums.com, as well as our Canadian, UK, and EU site. So
Waterbox is everywhere.
we are. Thank you guys.
See you next week.
Thank you all for watching. Remember, we're live on Facebook and YouTube, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit those notifications.
We're live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us next week. Thanks for watching.